Hi all, good morning. This video is all about how this plotter works for those who require a demo for the how this plotter works and how you can control this plotter. Okay, so I connected this plotter with the power. So this will be 5 volt that is directly connected to the USB port of the laptop, and this is the connection for the Arduino Nano that it will be connected to the PC. The first thing you will do after the connection is make sure that the Arduino is powered on. You will not see any drivers are working because you did not give any command as of now. And I also installed the pen for this, and this is touching the paper now, which means the Z is at 0 position. Now let's get back to the UI. So for the UI, you can go to the HMI section and you can open the file run.bat file, which will, and you will see this UI. Once you click on the .bat file, you will see two messages, that is configuration loaded successfully, and you will see the plotter connected successfully. So these two things you need to make sure that this is connected. If it is not connected, you should make sure that you have no active connection to Arduino Nano, maybe through if you open the GRBL plotter, is going to make a connection with the Arduino, or if you open the IDE, that's also going to establish a connection with the Arduino Nano. So you should make sure that those connections are closed before opening this HMI, so that the HMI will make connection with the plotter. So once the connection is successful, you will see a user interface this way, like this, and you are now able to control the plotter completely. So moving the pen up and pen down, this will create the pen up and down position. So you see the value have changed from pen up, it goes to the 5, because in the setup I give 5 pen up Z5 mm, so which goes to the Z5, and when I go to the pen down, it goes to minus 1.125, because I give minus 0.125 as the pen down position. So I go to joke and I joke this. So you can see when I keep pen up, it moves 5 mm, and pen down, it goes down. So pen up and pen down. And I can even joke the different axis this way, like I can use the Y plus, and when I use the Y plus, I have different increment option. I have different increment option here, which is 0.1, 1 and 10. So if I give 10, it's going to move every time in the Y, X or Z position 10 mm, irrespective of this, because if I use pen up and down, these values will be called, and if I do joke with Z plus or Z minus, what's going to happen is it is going to take it from there 10 mm. It will not consider the pen up and down position. So I can move in the Y plus direction. So you can see that this moves in Y plus direction, and the movement is so smooth that you will not hear any sound, because the 3D print was of good quality. And you can see the x-axis is moving 10 mm. So this move 10 mm. So one click is 10 mm. And the advantage is, since you have two motors, it goes, this x-axis will be balanced on both directions. So you don't feel that one side goes like not parallel to each other. So it will be always parallel to each other, and it will maintain its position. And the backlash is all about this movement. The movement when you have this. So when it is engaged and you see a small movement, so this is the backlash in X, and this is very little, so you don't feel it, or in Y. So I hope you can see this. This is a backlash in Y, and this is a backlash in X. That's the value you fill up in the setup page, the backlash, X backlash and Y backlash. So this will compensate any small movements, and this will adjust to this. So if you have any update, you can just update it, maybe like 1.8, and you can save to disk, which will save this the value, and whenever you open it next time, you will have the value, same value in the system, so that it will compensate for the path. So now you need to make something. I will show you how to generate the G code. So the first thing, I will take it to the center of the paper, and I will go to the 0 all, which will when I go to 0 all, I should make sure that this is at the paper at the top of the paper. So I'll just move it to 0. I can move it to 0 position, go to MDI, type 0, and you can execute move cycle. So which will this move this one to 0 position. So I move this 0, make sure I am going to use the center of the paper as a reference. So I keep here and I press 0 all. So which will create all my axis 0 position here. So now the 0 position of my plotter is at the center of the paper. So now I go back to the GRPL plotter on the desktop, and I go to G code creation, and I go to a G code text. So to create a sample text and create a G code. So I just created some G code that is 3D, and coming here, I am going to use the offset as the center. Origin will be XY, origin will be at the center, and I click center as this, and apply offset, which will move my text based on the center. So please make sure that this is within my specified range. So this is 34, which is like center. My work area will be 150 by 150. If I want to scale it, I can scale it up and everything. That is, so if I want to scale it up, go to G code text, and I can make a letter height and letter distance. So I can update the values here. Yeah. Create G code, it will create the bigger text. Go to apply offset, and it goes to the center. So I have this 35. Okay. And here is my G code. So this is the G code. I can select this all. So I go here, select all, and copy to clipboard. So I copy the file, and I go back to my software, and I go to auto and paste my G code. The moment you paste G code, you will see the preview here. So this is the toolpath I'm going to make, and this is my 0 point. This is my 0 point, which is exactly where my plotter is. And once this is ready, I can just start the program here. So you can see the plotter start racing there as soon as I get the first attempt was a failure because the feed was little too high. It was 1000 in X5, and Z it was 100. It's fine. So it was 1000 before, and I reduced it to 200, which is optimum for this plotter. So I do this, and I regenerated the G code, and I am back in the software, and I have the X and Y backlash set, and I go to auto file. So this is my new G code updated feed rate, and I start the program. When I start the program, the plotter instantly starts moving to its position, and it starts plotting. So here you can see that it started plotting, and you can see all the stepper drivers are sending signal to this plotter, which is coming from the Arduino Nano. And you can still see there are room for improvements on the X and Y axis backlash. You can still fine tune it to get to your maximum limit. And this is a tuned version, and you can see that this is the version without any adjustment on the backlash, and this is not at all tuned. This was my first trial, and the tuned version, you can see the difference. So you can see the difference with tuned and untuned version. So once you have the backlash properly set up, you will get the best result. You can see still there are some room for improvements, and still I'm working on it. So this is how this plotter works, and you can have all the controls here. So while it's working, you will not be able to do these jog movements. This will be disabled, and it will not make any this one, and you cannot go pen up and down or any of these commands when it's working on this auto mode, any of these commands will not be working. And you can see on the digital readout the value update, the position updates accordingly whenever it move to its position. So this is how the plotter works, and you can fine tune it to make the best speed and best calculation, and you can use this software for any of the plotter which is controlled. Only thing is you need to just basically modify the port and everything. So other than that, it will work like as it is. Thank you.